St. Paul City Council to order. Roll call.
Naker.
Here.
Prince.
Here.
Tolbert.
Here.
Yang.
Here.
Ballinger.
Here.
Jalali. Council President Brenmoen.
Here.
6 present, 1 absent, being Councilmember Jalali, and she is excused.
If you would like, please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Rebecca has had coffee. There's a cake.
Consent agenda items 2 through 8 are before you for your consideration.
Should anything be taken from consent for separate consideration this afternoon? All right, seeing none, Ms. Yang moves the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The consent agenda is adopted. Item number 9 is Resolution 23-310, approving the appointment of Dan Dodge as the legislative aide in Ward 1.
All right, this is before us for approval, and after we approve it, Ms. Moore will go to the front. We'll invite Dan to join her, and we'll swear you in. So we'll take a motion from Mr. Ballinger. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted.
And we welcome Dan's special guest. He prepared a speech, but we said no. Just kidding.
Do you want to come with? All right, I'll have you raise your right hand and repeat after me. I
I, Dan Dodge,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the constitutions
to support the constitutions
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Minnesota,
and of the state of Minnesota,
and to discharge faithfully
and to discharge faithfully
the duties devolving upon me
the duties devolving upon me
as the Ward 1 legislative aide
as the Ward 1 legislative aide
of the city of St. Paul
of the city of St. Paul,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
Congratulations.
Well done. Mr. Bellinger.
As my colleagues all know, I had a little spell in there where I did not have an aide, and I got some help from DUA, which was wonderful, but it really felt good for me to come in the day and to find Dan in the office. He had a wonderful interview, and his references just glowed about him. And I'm very excited and happy to have him. So welcome again and again and again.
Item 10 is Resolution 23-317, recognizing Shirtua Yang and Jarua Zhang for their service to the St. Paul Hmong community and proclaiming Saturday, March 4th as Shirtua Zhang and Kazua Zhang Day in the city of St. Paul.
Councilmember Yang.
Thanks so much, Council President. It is my honor to present this resolution to recognize Tsai Toya and Gazhuo Xiong for their service to the St. Paul Hmong community and proclaiming Saturday, March 4th, 2023 as Tsai Toya and Gazhuo Xiong Day in the city of St. Paul. So we are joined by them today. Tsai Toya and Gazhuo Xiong, along with their son, Ku, and daughter-in-law, and also wonderful friends. And, Tsai Toya and Gazhuo are amazing community leaders in our Hmong community, and I'll be reading this, and know that from this you'll be able to get a feel of why I say that. So I just wanted to share that this resolution is really special because it is for their 45th wedding anniversary, which they will be celebrating this Saturday. So I want to ask you both to step up here with me. Okay. Whereas Tsai Toya was born on August 4th, 1954 in Samnu, Hopan, Laos, to Nye Guoya and Gaying Xiong, and whereas Gazhuo Xiong was born on June 23rd, 1959 in Sinquang, Laos, to Tong Si Zhang and Po Mo, and whereas Tsai Toya enlisted and joined the U.S. Central Intelligence Agency Secret Army in 1970 to replace his father as a foot soldier of the Special Guerrilla Unit at just 15 years old, and served 2 years with GM 26 211th Battalion, 5th Company, before he was reassigned to GM 21 201st Battalion, 3rd Company. And whereas Tsai Toya and Gazhuo met in the deep jungles and high mountains of Laos, fell in love, and got married on March 4th, 1978, before fleeing their homeland to resettle into the refugee camps of Thailand. Whereas Tsai Toya and Gazhuo sought political asylum and immigrated to the United States in 1994, where they lived in California before moving to Minnesota in 1996. And whereas Tsai Toya and Gazhuo have since dedicated much of their lives to serving the St. Paul Hmong community by preserving Hmong culture and uplifting Hmong history in partnership with several community leaders and organizations. And whereas Tsai Toya and Gazhuo will celebrate their 45th wedding anniversary on Saturday, March 4th, 2023, therefore be it resolved, the St. Paul City Council honors Tsai Toya and Gazhuo Xiong for their service to the St. Paul Hmong community. And be it further resolved that the St. Paul City Council hereby proclaims Saturday, March 4th, 2023 to be Tsai Toya and Gazhuo Xiong Day in the city of St. Paul. Congratulations and happy anniversary to the both of you. Okay. Oh, why don't we have you all step up with us too? Thank you. And actually, before I give the mic to them, I want to give a huge shout out to Jay Lore and also Ku Ying. Thank you so much for working on this resolution, and wanted to also give a shout out to both of their children who are constituents of Ward 6 too. So when I hand the mic over to you, 请你帮我请你孩子还到 Lusting Paul City Council。
我做了Lu City Saint Paul 的City Council 那做到我那阵让家查古的政治老九兄头了，其他人在古多找Saint Paul 呢，古多八路这路上八种梦似的，人家查古的这政治可能也好容些的我那些的做。
Thank you to the St. Paul City Council for acknowledging and recognizing all of my work and dedication to our community for over 40 years.
Yeah, Linda.
Thanks so much, everyone.
We will take a motion from Ms. Yang. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The resolution is adopted. Item 11 is final adoption of ordinance 23-12, amending the appendix to Chapter 409 of the Legislative Code pursuant to Section 17.07.1 of the Charter and Section 409.16 of the Legislative Code to create a new commercial development district at 1079 Rice Street to include the single parcel that is at that address and allow for one on-sale liquor license of any type.
All right, this is before us for our final vote. I will move approval. Thank you, folks, for coming to Ward 5 for our public hearing last week. I thought that was a wonderful outing for many reasons. So I'll make a motion. Any discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The ordinance is adopted. Item 12 is first reading of ordinance 23-14, granting the application of William Janicki to rezone property at 869 Arkwright Street from RT1 two-family residential to RT2 townhouse residential and amending Chapter 60 of the Legislative Code pertaining to the zoning map.
All right, and on this item, in my conversations with PEDA, this is non-controversial, and so I did not request a public hearing on this first reading.
So the ordinance is laid over to March 8th for second reading public hearing. Item 13 is resolution public hearing 23-31, considering and adopting the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and recommendation of the administrative law judge and request of the Department of Safety and Inspections for imposition of $1,000 matrix penalty against the auto repair garage license held by Castillo Auto Repair at 744 3rd Street East.
Right, and on this item, Ms. Scarda, welcome.
Thank you, Council President Brenmo and Council members. Teresa Scarda on behalf of the Department of Safety and Inspection. This agenda item is before you regarding the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and recommendations following a contested case hearing in front of an administrative law judge. The record before this council indicates that the parties and the public had an opportunity to be heard during those proceedings. As the ALJ's recommendation indicates, the record of evidence is closed upon adjournment of that hearing, and that's consistent with our ordinances. The St. Paul Legislative Code, our new version and citation is 31003, and our old citation was 31005, states that the council will consider the evidence contained in the record, the hearing and examiner's recommended findings of fact and conclusions, and may not consider any factual testimony not previously submitted to and considered by the hearing examiner. After receipt of the hearing examiner's findings, conclusions, and recommendations, the council must provide the applicant or licensee an opportunity to present oral or written arguments alleging error on the part of the examiner in the application of the law or interpretation of the facts, and to present argument related to the recommended adverse action. Upon conclusion of the hearing and after considering the record, the examiner's findings and recommendations, together with such additional arguments presented at this hearing, the council must determine what, if any, adverse action should be taken, which action is supported by the resolution that's before you. You may accept, reject, or modify the findings and conclusions and recommendations of the hearing examiner, and you may adopt all or part of the findings and conclusions and recommendations of the hearing examiner and incorporate the same in your resolution that takes the adverse actions, or you can make your own findings and conclusions after articulating those bases. In this matter, DSI is recommending that council adopt the recommendations of the ALJ and impose the $1,000 standard matrix penalty. The auto repair garage license held by Castillo Auto Repair, located at 744 3rd Street East, was the subject of a notice of violation and request for imposition of that $1,000 matrix penalty on July 6, 2022. The notice of a violation alleged 4 violations of license conditions: failing to follow the approved site plan, exterior storage of vehicle parts, failing to maintain maneuvering space on the property, and tires displayed in the public right-of-way. This was the second adverse action against the license, and the licensee responded by requesting a hearing before an administrative law judge. That hearing was held December 8th, 2022, and on January 19th, 2023, the ALJ issued her findings of fact, conclusions of law, and recommendations. And all of this is in the attachments to this resolution. She found that this was a second violation, and within our ordinance, the $1,000 matrix penalty was appropriate. The ALJ further found that the complaint inspector found that the licensee violated conditions 2, 9, and 13. And in your Legistar is version 2. And I just want to note, the only change between version 1 and version 2 is the 12th whereas has the number 4 crossed out. This is to correct my typo and ensure that the resolution mirrors the ALJ's report you are adopting. Therefore, given that the ALJ recommended the imposition of the standard penalty, DSI is also recommending that you adopt the findings and impose the penalty. And I do not see the licensee here, although he may be calling in.
They're not calling in.
Okay.
But sometimes when we call a public hearing, people are in the hall, but I agree, we do not see them currently in the room. Are there questions from Ms. Scarda? Okay, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing none, Jane, Ms. I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
Ms. Prince moves to close the public hearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails. Ms. Prince?
And I will move version 2. Do we do 2 separate?
No, we can just.
Okay. I move version 2 to uphold the findings of fact and law of the administrative law judge and the recommendation of the city attorney to impose the matrix penalty as resolved.
All right, and I'll support the motion. And just to clarify a bit further, the version 2 is really correcting a scrivener's error. There was a paragraph that was unintentionally left in that should have been out, but the recommendations are the same as they were last week and what has the ALJ recommended. I would support your motion. Any other discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted as amended. Item 14 is Resolution Public Hearing 23-29, authorizing an increase in the Department of Parks and Recreation Grant Fund in the amount of $10,000 to reflect funds from the Capital Region Watershed District Grant Program to support the BIPOC Parks Ambassadors Program and awarding the proper city officials to enter into the grant agreement with the Capital Region Watershed District.
All right, this is a public hearing, but I do see Director Rodriguez is in the crowd. He's in the crowd. And so because we're accepting $10,000, if there's an opportunity to share, if you have anything you'd like to share with us, you can, or we'll go to the public hearing. That's the right answer. Welcome.
Council President, council members, appreciate being here, and thank you for recognizing the grant contribution from Cap Region on behalf of the BIPOC Park Ambassadors Program. We embarked on a program initiative years ago around increasing BIPOC presence within our regional park system via outdoor programs and education, and then participation has skyrocketed with the initiatives that we've done around that topic. And really just focusing on outdoor activities like fishing, nature walks, ice skating, ice fishing, things like that. But super exciting to see that work continue. Then also just wanted to shout out just what we've accomplished in 2022, getting back to pre-pandemic levels, over 1 million visitors at the Como Zoo, back to that number again, seeing our sports skyrocket with free sports initiatives across the city, opened multiple parks and new amenities across our system, whether it be skate ramps or Highland Bridge parks. Super exciting time for us, and we're hoping to continue more of that in 2023.
That's great. And I always appreciate the opportunity to highlight some of, the work we're doing and the numbers that are behind it. I mean, we're coming back from COVID, but when you just look at the increase in our sports participation or the people who are visiting Como Zoo or the number of BIPOC folks who participated in the long list of activities you pointed out that weren't offered 5 years ago is just, it's noteworthy. And so I appreciate your taking the opportunity to share that with us as part of this accepting of this grant. So thank you for being here.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Take care.
Wonderful. So this is a public hearing. Does anyone want to speak to this item? Seeing none, Ms. Yang moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 15 is Resolution Public Hearing 23-35, approving the application of Meafy Bank, Inc., doing business as Shamrock's Irish Nook, for a sound level variance in order to present amplified sound on Friday, March 17th at 995 7th Street West, Shamrock's Irish Nook.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? Or at least comment on the name Meafy Beat? All right, seeing none, Ms. Inker moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 16 is Resolution Public Hearing 23-38, approving the application of Saints Baseball LLC for a sound level variance in order to present amplified sound on Friday, March 17th at 360 Broadway Street, St. Paul Saints Baseball Club.
This is a public hearing. Is there anyone here who'd like to speak to this item? In support or opposition, or just to tell us a little bit about it or anything? Oh, look. Mr. Welly. Didn't see you sitting there. Welcome.
Thank you, Council President Bremone, members of the City Council. Following up on an event we did last year, very successful, first time last year, the Saints throw a little party following the St. Patrick's Day Parade at the ballpark from around 12:30 or 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock. And part of that is some Irish music, and so we'll be doing that again this year, and that's the reason for our variance in celebration of St. Patrick's Day.
Great. And it was very successful last year, correct?
It went well, yes.
Especially for a first-year event.
It was good. It was good. We're hoping to build on it. So,
Great. Any questions?
can we get a resolution on the weather? Oh, that would help.
Sure, they're highly effective. All right, there's no further questions and
Thank
no
you.
one else here for the public hearing. Ms. Neeker moves to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Item 17 is Resolution Public Hearing 23-39, authorizing Office of Financial Empowerment to accept grant funds from the St. Paul and Minnesota Foundation and to amend the financing and spending plan in the amount of $70,000 for the College Bound St. Paul program.
And that is, again, the program with the $50 savings account for every baby born in St. Paul. We will be getting an update from Office of Financial Service to see how those dollars are continuing to grow for those youngsters who are college bound. So we will get that in the upcoming months, but for now, let's accept $70,000 from the St. Paul, Minnesota Foundation. Mr. Bellinger would move to close the public hearing and approve. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearing is closed and the resolution is adopted. Legislative hearing consent agenda items 18 through 29 are before you for your consideration.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mormon.
Good afternoon, Council President, Council members. I'm not aware of anyone here to testify on a legislative hearing item.
All right. If you are here for items 18 through 29, this is your public hearing. Seeing none, Ms. Naker moves to close the public hearings as amended. Close public hearings and approve as amended. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion prevails.
6 in favor, no one opposed. The public hearings are closed and the resolutions are adopted as amended.
Great. Shockingly, that brings us to the end of our agenda. Is there anyone who has news from the wards or updates to share as we march into March? I know there's lots of stuff going on. It's been a busy week. All right. Seeing none, we are adjourned.